And we're here.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, we are Not Great RPG and we are here once again for the Lost Kings of Adoris. We are still down 2 members this evening, but we press on.
It's a good one.
I look cute, so it's fine. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for the sacked Craigasm. I appreciate that as well. Much appreciated. Thank you. So we will go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then after a brief recap, we'll pick up where we left off 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago? Some time ago.
2 weeks ago.
I don't know.
I'm John, and I play Marcus.
I'm Sarah, and I play Dandelion.
I'm Glenn, and I play your big friend, Endgear.
For the second to last time, I'm Zonkey Kong. Mm-hmm. And for the last time, I'll be playing Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, I'm Don, the DM of the Lost Kings of Adoris. Last week, you guys continued traveling south into the Kingdom of Arbor. Endgear directed you into the trees, and Cookie was like, this isn't a road. And Endgear was like, well, it is now.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. We got there.
Yeah. And,
just can't quit. Fuck it, I'm done. I just can't quit you, Cookie.
And then Endgear put a second bandana over his eyes, so his face was just full bandana top to bottom. You guys continued through the woods for a bit before coming across a rather strange-looking tavern and inn outfitted with what looked like ship's cannons on the outside, and the windows looked to be blacked out. Endgear told you guys, like, you know, it's real weird in there. They're not friendly at all, and you guys
scary.
just let me do the talking. It's terrifying. It's weird as fuck in there.
Sounded very sexual at first.
It was.
Okay.
It's very perverted in there.
Mr. Pigeon and Twig ran off into the woods with the carriage to go scout out the entrance to the Blackflower stronghold that Endgear told them about within the woods, and said that they would meet up with you later. The rest of you went inside. 3 of you went over towards a table as Endgear walked towards a dragonborn man at the front table, flanked by another woman, which I did forget to mention this last week. Dragonborn are incredibly uncommon, and you've maybe only seen one other one. So,
The one in the circus that sold soap?
yes. Yeah, you've seen like 1 or 2
Soap
other
dragon.
ones outside of that. They're not.
You mean like in
got a
terms
bubble
of
breath weapon.
So when we were within Greymore in city proper, seeing a litany of people in a crowd?
Yeah, or even in any of your travels that you've had at all, it's very uncommon. You've only seen a handful.
Was there one in the underground market? There's a tiefling down there.
There's a tiefling down there. May have been a dragonborn. Regardless, you
I
see
was
elves
not
and
there.
humans and dwarves
Yeah.
all over the place. These are much more uncommon of a race from what you can tell. Don't know why, but they are. You then were taken down to the basement by a woman who introduced herself as Madame Morgan, that indicated that she knew Marcus Shaw III and figured out that Marcus must be his son, based on how he carried himself and how he looked.
I know that look.
There's a shirtless man walking into my tavern. It must be
It must be him. Only one other man.
The apple doesn't fall too far from the bull. I mean the tree.
Took you down into a basement below the basement within a whiskey barrel that had to be drained and opened for a ladder to appear. You were taken to a small little, like almost conference room style area where you could sit, enjoy some food, and speak. The Dragonborn, introduced as Artemis, ran off to fetch some food, and you spoke with Madame Morgan about her past, her dealings with the Iron Crown within Southport as a younger woman, being used to search for relics and items off the coast of Southport, before she and several of her compatriots escaped after a very long time of preparation over years. Several of them made it. Several of them, unfortunately, did not make it. The rest of them that did fled south and found this abandoned inn within the woods, and decided to try to help people escape from similar situations or go into hiding if need be. It was implied that they steal from people that can afford to be stolen from and deserve to be stolen from, in order to gain funds for their protection of people, as well as the minor amounts that the tavern and inn itself bring in. You also asked about the Guild of Olden Deus and Helena Ashwell, which Madame Morgan indicated that she is unfortunately familiar with this particular woman. And Dandelion, you spoke with her a bit about
the Witch Queen looking lady.
the Witch Queen looking lady.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is entirely possible that she does have your mirror or knows who does, and told you about the Guild of Olden Deus hiring the Iron Crown in order to obtain items of value for themselves. She spoke to the dealings that she had with Papa Shaw, Papa Chad Shaw, to be specific. It was implied a noble title, as he was passing through on his way south to confront a wizard that had stolen a dragon's child in what we learned earlier in the campaign as Rin's hometown of Kenmare. That she went with him in order to assist in relocating of people. You were told about the fact that the majority of the people in that town were corrupted by some sort of
Profane magics.
or plague of some kind. As there
Forgive
was
me,
a
when I
ritual.
can say
Yeah.
profane magics,
Of course.
A voice speaks through
Yeah.
me sometimes, Don. I can't silence it.
And the only way that those people could be saved is to be under the protection of the magic of said dragon and live in its lair within the nearby King's Bluff mountain range. The remainder of the people were taken and put into various places around the kingdom of Adoris, the continent of Adoris and various kingdoms. Rin in particular was sent to Kenmare because he was the youngest member and really had no knowledge of his former town, and it was decided that it would be better if he was raised with a family that could care for him more readily than the families that were being relocated, as his parents had either perished or in his mother's case, were taken to the dragon's lair. She then worked with your father a bit in interrupting the taking of people from Goldview down to Arbor. She would have her compatriots interrupt that process and take Marcus's people and send them elsewhere and relocate them, with the fear that if they were sent home, they would be recognized upon the next gathering of folks to serve in Arbor's army, and they would catch wind of what was going on. She also indicated that she pays off several guards within the army of Arbor, and that they kind of know to just leave well enough alone, and that they are being paid enough to just leave her alone, essentially. She also indicated that she had visited the the town of Goldview on one occasion, and met the young Marcus Shaw IV.
A wee lad.
And it was implied that there may have been some romantic feelings between the elder Shaw and Madame Morgan. and that may have been a reason for why she did not return. However, she did enjoy seeing the lions of the plains.
Yeah.
And had a great time watching them, meeting the elder Wonka within Goldview and hanging out with him.
William the Second.
William II.
The elder Wonka. Lord Wonka. His manner.
She also told you that her name is Evelyn, Evelyn Morgan. She is half changeling, half fae and fairy, as she indicated, born to a fae parent and a changeling parent in the changeling kingdom.
Fae Papa.
Fae Papa, changeling mama.
Yep.
And that when changelings visually change themselves, fae people have an energy to them that most changelings do not replicate when they disguise themselves. However, she does, being half changeling, so it is more valuable for her to be able to do what she does. She's told you that she was sold for 10,000 platinum at 8 years old and lent to the Iron Crown to try to find fae relics beneath the waters. Told you about her group, the Jade Serpent. And then you guys spoke a little bit more about Helena Ashwell and
10,000 platinum?
10,000 platinum.
We're down 800 platinum, which is not the
No,
same.
100k gold.
Yep. She's very valuable.
Bought by the olden
That's
days,
like-
lent to the Iron Crown.
Kingdom
where-
money.
Don't know where this came from.
Me neither.
Artemis returned with the food, sat, and before we have him return for the purposes of I have finally given you the letters with the contents of the things, I will kind of roll back a second as you guys were talking about Helena Ashwell, and you now have the contents of the letter from Helena Ashwell, if you would like to discuss that with Evelyn, or not.
No. No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
thank you.
We're doing no such thing.
I'm gonna call it a night.
How dare you?
How could you?
Not
Look what you've done to her.
Since now you do actually have the contents.
Yeah, and it is in her possession. And
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the letter that has the two candles that are of
That she-
different
yeah.
colors that she lights.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is invisible on paper.
Gotcha. And she had done it actually in the session. It was just hey, here's the roundabout
Yes.
explanation.
Yeah.
But now, okay.
Now I have
so
the physical.
out of game, I will, unless you, would you like to read the contents?
I'll read it.
Sure.
So it says, "My dearest Nox, I do hope that you are well. Our grand search continues for the artifact. Your colleagues are working with us to determine its location and the means to bring it to us. The timeline we discussed, we would like to accelerate it. We must see before we can move forward." And then it says something in another language that I do not know, and then it's signed Helena Ashwell, Guild of Olden Days.
You don't know, but Dandelion does know because that is written in Sylvan.
Oh, it's Sylvan.
It means never be forgotten, never die.
Like ever?
Never.
So she would read it probably out loud in Sylvan. Probably not think to translate it.
Owaline.
It does. Is this Latin?
It is. Works really well for strange languages, as we know with.
So I'll read it. I don't.
Phylactylarium.
It does say Numquan Oblivion.
See me elevate.
I wouldn't have been shocked. I really wouldn't have been shocked.
Numquan Mori. Would you say that it meant they...
Never be forgotten is the top line, and never die is the bottom line. Thankfully, I remembered what it meant because I wrote it in my copy also in Latin and did not write the English translation. I was like, that's helpful. But I remembered what it was.
What does it translate to? Fuck.
You think it
if
says fuck.
If you translate that in Latin back to
Backwards,
English,
yeah,
it doesn't
won't always go
work. So I had
backwards.
to do it one at a time, and
Yeah.
then I remembered what I was
Saying.
what I had said, so I figured it out. But at the time, I was like, "Oh no."
Well,
So now, back in character, you guys had previously discussed the contents of that letter when you had it several episodes ago.
I think we discussed most of it besides the
You did,
the
other than
Sylvan.
the exact contents, and the Sylvan.
yeah, it doesn't feel like it realistically changes any of the things that we have discussed
Nope.
in context for it.
Yeah.
Unless you know something about the specific phrase written in Sylvan, or if I know something about that specific phrase in Sylvan. Since
I would
that
say
is-
that you would not have heard that. It's not like Ron said that every night before you went to sleep.
You
All
never
right,
know.
Dandelion, never be
he
forgotten,
read
never
stories
die.
and stuff. He,
Don't die in your sleep now.
The only thing that I will indicate is that is for sure not like a Fey greeting or goodbye. That's definitely not something that you would have heard around in the
Feywilds.
in the Feywild, in the kingdom, in the castle.
Never be
in-
forgotten.
in
Don't
the Fey
die.
court at all. Did not
Sure.
hear that.
so that's weird.
Yeah, so that's not a formal greeting or parting sentence that you're aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So it means this, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Even in my language.
For clarity as to what's on the bottom, because it
Yeah,
is
this
colored.
is the Ankh.
Yeah, it's the Ankh with the two
The
gems
gem.
that have thread suspending it in the
Suspended, yeah.
center of the Ankh. Yeah.
Yeah, we look like a dream catcher.
Yep.
Yep. And I would have shown you something much more crudely drawn, but similar to that when I was talking about the
Yeah, I know we'd
the
seen
man.
it before.
Well, it was on the man who theoretically stole the mirror was
Yeah.
wearing
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that as like a necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my crayon drawing of that man.
It's a terrifying cactus with squiggly hair.
That is what it is.
Haircut.
Cactus.
Yeah. With squiggly hair. Look at it.
Say Dandelion's never seen a cactus, so
On the plains. Of
The lions.
The lions eat cactus all the time. Scratching posts.
ouchie.
They're very strong.
I can't say that I recognize that drawing, Dandelion. Apologies.
Do you know what
It's-
that phrase means?
I do speak Sylvan. It means never be forgotten, never die. I did hear it uttered around my time as a child, but not sure the context.
By like in your original home or at the manor?
At the manor, yes.
Have I ever heard that?
Have I ever?
That's a good question, Glenn.
the Shaw family saying?
Yeah, I've got a tattoo on my back.
of the previous Marcus.
Wait, I say this every night.
I would say that yes, you would have heard that in several, but not all, of your kind of not great dream trips. Right before you would wake up, when everything would kind of fade to black, you would hear that like whispering on the wind.
Like when I was being experimented on.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah. And more just like the one that I described for you, of you like walking through the mountain range, like that type of thing, where you would just
There's
wake
the
up from
cackling
that.
and then...
Yeah, the cackling, you would hear that kind of whispered, very echoey around you. Yes. Not knowing what it meant. But
Yeah,
now
just
you
because
do.
it's being said in Sylvan.
Yes. Presumably by the cackler,
Yeah. Oh,
The Great Cackler.
the great cackler.
the great cactus.
The great
Charlie Brown.
cactus, yeah.
Sounds like some sort of motto.
Could also be some kind of a spell component, maybe. You know how people have to say spells, right? You speak magic into the world.
Yeah.
I have heard this.
With magic? I mean, it just sounds like words in my language.
Maybe it's the intention in which it's spoken.
I'll try and say it in like a very dramatic.
Sure. The table explodes. No. Yeah, you say this in as dramatic as Dandelion is capable of
Very dramatic.
sounding, and nothing happens.
I'm not gonna try and do it because I, Sarah, don't speak Sylvan.
Or Latin.
Or Latin.
Yes, I've heard this echoed in dreams before.
That's weird.
Yeah. Dreams, nightmares, sort of thing.
This is... I've never heard it where I'm from. I mean, I've heard all of those words, just not put together like that. Most of them are just normal words.
Is this native language of where you speak?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, I've heard the word never. The word forgotten.
You ever hear somebody start laughing before they say never?
I mean, probably. I think
I would say at some point,
I think
certainly.
Oberon's probably said that and laughed, but usually because someone's like, do you want this weird fruit? And he's like, never. Not that weird fruit.
And you trust this man?
Of course.
Do you trust the person with the fruit?
It depends on the person with who the person with the fruit is.
Possibly kill fruit man. He might be trying to poison you.
I don't think he was trying to poison me. If he was trying to poison Oberon, he's probably dead already, so...
Oh. This is not good news. He's probably okay, though.
Oberon's definitely fine. We talked to him a few days ago. I've said his name too many times. Oh no.
As he appears in the ceiling, hello, dude.
Well, no, I think I was trying to specifically avoid saying his name
Yes.
in front of...
Oh, I said his name to her.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I trust. She knows my papa. I trust her implicitly.
She could be his mother.
Well,
Could be.
that's unlikely, but... Dandelion doesn't know.
There are
that, so-
lions on the plains. Anything is possible.
At this point, Artemis would return with food, set it in the center of the table, and as I had described before,
scars.
you could see scars kind of covered up by the armor, both on his front and his back. Sit, grab a mug of ale, slide the rest on the, around the table, and as he said at the end of last week, take a sip. So, Edgar, you killed 3 people recently.
Yes.
Assassins?
Yes.
They attacked us in the middle of the night.
There was
It's incredibly inconsiderate.
a one that didn't speak, one that couldn't see, and then one that couldn't hear.
As we know from your discussions, clearly the Black Flowers are experimenting with dark magics of some kind. I can't imagine you were the only product that they attempted to create whatever horrible things you told us about.
Very much truth.
I'm sure there are others.
The unfortunate part is that most that they did was just poke at me. I was already born pretty messed up.
Yes, but they seemed bent on trying to invoke something from you.
Yes, trying to pull out the bad. Make it stronger. What about you? Kill any bad people lately?
Well, not recently, but that is the plan going forward, assuming we are able to gain access to their stronghold. I worry what's happened to the brothers and that poor girl. The 3 that they took are 2 compatriots, dwarven brothers, Cormac and Bo, and the unfortunate girl that they were helping, Ophelia.
This Cormac and Bo, how important are they to you?
I mean, they're my brothers. I can't leave them in there, especially after you've said what you've said.
I wish not to see any of my friends' rot in there.
And this girl, Ophelia, I would be concerned if they had access to her. Former royalty. She escaped that life. Became a sort of pseudo-expert on curses and cursed objects.
So she gave up crown for study?
Was not her choice to have the crown.
Where was she royalty?
Here in Arbor. Smaller royalty, not the full kingdom, obviously, just
Child of like a duke or something then?
yes,
Okay.
in line for the throne, but
Yeah, not direct succession from the king.
not direct succession from the king, yes. She escaped that life, fled north to one of the Elvish kingdoms, and attempted to help people, based on what the brothers said when we got word from them on their way back.
You said she's a child?
She's in her late 20s.
Oh.
Child to me, apologies.
Lady.
Yes.
This makes everything different.
Yes. But she's a bit afflicted herself and therefore takes the burden from others.
It's okay, he's immune.
Afflicted?
Yes. She takes... if people have curses or cursed objects, she attempts to remove those curses from them, but those curses have to go somewhere. They don't just dissipate. Certain curses cannot just be dissipated by magic,
Certainly.
but she works to shift the target of those curses to herself.
She eats curses?
In a sense, yes.
So what you're saying is she is cursed.
She is cursed, yes.
That sounds like a lot of curses.
Yes.
And
For one
why,
person?
why is she so important to you?
It's not that she is important to me, it's that if the Black Flowers have someone that is capable of moving curses around, that is troubling.
Very true.
There are no end of cursed objects in this world.
How long ago was she taken?
I think
you had said 2 months.
2 months ago, yeah. 2 months ago. I don't know if it's her holy nature that, or her celestial nature that allows her to gain some sort of protection from these curses. She is an Aasimar.
Alright.
But,
We'll need to know what the 3 people look like. This way we can ensure that when we rescue them that we are bringing back the correct people.
yes, and I'll be traveling with you, but
Oh!
you'll still need to know what they look like in case I die.
Oh no, you'll be fine, Artemis. You're a very powerful man.
Thank you.
Of course.
I do consider myself quite a warrior. Was not always that way, but we do what we must to survive.
Well, there's a classic Shaw introduction, if you would be not opposed.
Of course.
The handshake of the warrior. I would put my hand down to gesture to arm wrestle the man.
Sure, yes. Of course.
I would attempt to arm wrestle the man.
Yeah.
I would attempt to feign giving it full effort and then to pull back.
Okay.
I'm trying to encourage this man.
Sure.
You're gonna notice Dandelion taking notes, and I'm going to reach out to arm wrestle Dandelion.
Right?
I'm going to try my best.
Might I
Deal.
roll the initial
Was that
strength
strength?
and then the subsequent performance?
Yes,
for
absolutely.
the pulling back.
Yep, that was my plan.
Oh dear. Well, it's an 8 on the strength
Okay.
When I have to pull back that much.
and a 14 on the performance.
Okay. He beats you on the strength, and you beat him on the performance. So
Fantastic.
really, that works as expected.
Good.
With the benefit of he
Yeah.
does
Again, like
generally.
he seems like he's
Yes.
nervous.
That's all
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I would absolutely attempt to encourage
Small.
this man by being like, I'm jacked as shit. Like, wow, you beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the two of you kind of back and forth for a moment before he.
So Dandelion's a perfect mirror because she rolled a 2 to my 8. Wham!
Yeah, and then he kind of gingerly slams your hand onto the table.
I don't know, I'd slap him on the shoulder, kind of, not like overly roughly,
Yeah.
but, sufficiently playful. See? Strongest man in this room. Edgear's next.
And Gear.
You have to arm wrestle the man.
Dandelion, you've got
be-
Bell.
It wouldn't be a fair fight.
What? Why? You have hands?
Why would I use my whole body to wrestle his hand?
No, you use your arm as well. It's your hand against his hand, as I just did. Your two arms are wrestling.
Okay.
It's a back and forth.
Oh.
It's a test of strength in one single arm.
What if I break his arm by accident?
I'll heal it with my healing hands.
Come on, Angear.
Alright.
Give me a little more credit than that.
Yeah?
Dandelion's got Bell.
18?
14 for Bill. It's a 16 for him.
That's really bad at arm wrestling.
Yeah, so
It was close.
You two back and forth. It's very close, but you eventually do push his hand back. Well played, Angear.
This is the first time I've ever done this.
Oh, you're very strong.
Yes.
I know this.
Yeah.
Is
Bell
that-
just looks at Dandelion. You're not very good at this.
What happened? You
Dandelion.
lost a child?
Yes,
Oh.
she's very
Bell's
strong.
been training.
Yes.
She's very good at this.
Definitely.
a warrior. You're
I can do this, and
clap.
I'll use
Mm-hmm.
what is it?
Minor illusion.
Yeah. Where is it? This
Dandelion
is
with arm
rhetorical.
wrestling is like Curiel with driving a boat.
Yeah, right. I'll wild shape into a bear. or a sprightly little girl. She's a bear.
She's a sprightly little bear.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, a little fey bear.
It's not too late.
Right?
Multi-class.
What's your wisdom?
Oh no,
Could be improved.
I'm already multi-classing anyway, so it's.
Could go
Could
with
go again.
Raz was 3 classes.
Here we go.
This is how you build
That was
it.
at like level 12 though, wasn't it? Or 10?
You're on your way.
Because you didn't take cleric until the very end.
I would have taken it at 11. No, 10. It was at school at. Oh no, it is 3.
Don,
Silent image. Yeah.
how long ago did I escape? It was a month, right? Something like that.
What would you make with your silent image?
It would actually be a little bear dancing around. Actually, no, it would be cucumber.
See?
I'd make cucumber
Right?
dancing
Raccoon friend.
around.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think Belle can either.
Can you do that, Belle?
Can Belle make images or use illusory magic?
She just... Nothing happened.
Good try. Maybe you should teach Belle how to do that.
I can do this. And she makes her eyes go purple and her hair turns like a bright red.
That's really cool.
You're getting better at that.
Thank you.
Does she still have like the gray skin and like kind
Yeah.
of featureless, like
Yeah.
It's not. She's just like very unassuming looking, right? Like, is that how the changelings are? It's not like they don't have features. It's just like you can't quite pinpoint their features.
Can't quite pinpoint. I believe it was a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you spent like 5 days here. Well played, Angir.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I'm kind of the best.
Oh, that's Cookie. Cookie's the best. Cookie! Have you ever arm wrestled?
Oh, all the time. I used to be a champion.
I think you should arm wrestle Engir.
His arms are like 3 times my size, but I'll give it a go.
You've got the leverage, Cookie. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Angir.
23.
Okay, yeah, you just...
Oh, my cookie hands!
Oh, boy.
Perhaps you should try dandelion instead?
Wait a minute, Cookie. I just remembered you're left-handed.
Oh, you're right. My God, it's been so long since I've done this. Let's try the other hand. Here, you flip... Here, we'll both sit this way, so that way you can use the right one.
I'll
And
go
then we'll just
left-handed.
kinda- all right, sure.
I'm ambidextrously strong.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah, I think I got like a 14 or 13. Yeah, 13.
Yeah, he, like, slams your arm into the ground.
He is, in fact, left.
stronger than it looks. Whew, it's been a long time since I've done that. I used to be a champion in the gnomish arm wrestling circuit.
The gnome ones.
The gnome land.
The gnome land.
That's wonderful, Cookie.
He said
Yeah,
omelet, I thought of omelet. Made of gnomes.
Before I became a chef, that's what I used to do.
For money?
Just for fun.
Oh.
Just like when I was at home with my parents.
Who did you arm wrestle?
Full-grown adults.
As a boy? Mm-hmm. No wonder you're so strong.
Yeah, well, when you live to be as old as I am, you just keep getting stronger every day.
I'm glad that that's how that works.
And then there's supposedly a very rapid decline in the day. So I'm okay for now. Once I start rapidly declining, that's...
Well, because you're so high up, it would clearly be a longer descent.
Exactly. Well, that's...
The higher the mountain, the longer the fall.
Exactly. Yeah. My whole family's been that way.
It's just
really
science.
been extremely healthy, and then over the course of a month, rapid decline into death.
Every single person a month?
Well, I mean, most of the men in my family, anyway. My father, his father before him, over roughly a month, not exactly to the day or anything. It's not like a curse or something like that. It's just kind of roughly
So it runs in the family.
Yeah.
28 to 34 days, that range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me every person in your family, every man, has died of old age?
Yes. Except my
Never
grandfather's...
once have we died by any other
My
means.
grandfather's grandfather, he
Shanked by a boar.
he got impaled by a boar, and his father was crushed by a boulder.
That
to death.
same boar.
That same boar.
The boar pushed the boulder.
The boar's name was Boulder.
The boar pushed the boulder.
He died in the boar wrestling circuit. Circuit.
There's other people
Back in the territories.
ring.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
gnome
Traveling road
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
I feel like
whole
this is
thing.
just gladiator style, throw gnomes into pits and
It
have
is.
animals beat the shit out of them.
It is. It was really not the best growing up from what I've heard. There was a horrible man that ruled the town before he was overthrown and thrown into the pit himself.
Who was this man?
His name was Gnome Reagan.
Reagan?
Yes, one word.
I have nowhere to write that down. Words. And I'm sure it's gonna.
Right there.
And then they abolished
say no
the
Reagan.
No,
Yeah,
Reagan.
that's good.
then they abolished the boar pits after.
No,
you know,
Reagan was
he
eaten.
met his match. Yeah. Yeah, swallowed whole.
By the bolt.
By the biggest boar. And then they set him all free.
The pigs or the gnomes?
The violent boar.
Yeah, the trained violent killer boy.
That's when he's out here hunting. No, that's when he's hunting in the forest.
he's cleaning
getting
up.
revenge for his ancestors by choking the boar to death.
And they realized it was a really bad idea after they killed like 6 to 10 people.
They had the taste of human
Yeah.
flesh.
The roving boar attacks.
Stampede!
So, yeah, that's me.
Thanks.
And Artemis just kind of, oh, all right. I thought my life was interesting, and that's very different.
Well, I would love to hear more of your tales of battle, if you have any.
Well, I mean, most of the battles have occurred since joining the Jade Serpent.
Oh, okay. So skirmishes in defense of the people you're ferrying?
Yes.
Okay.
When I was younger, this is the wrong file. That's Endgear's file.
They
Got
overlap.
files on everybody?
Yeah.
They overlap.
Like Batman, he's gotta know how to kill it.
But Cookie, you mentioned something about
No, Reagan.
Gnome Reagan.
Boar pits?
I knew him. He was my dad. You mentioned something about miners. Yeah. My grandfather's grandfather was a miner.
But he fought in the boar pits.
And they also fought in the boar pits on the weekends. Sure. But
Sure.
sure.
You got it.
Sure.
Okay. the boar pits.
All right.
Right. My father too was a miner. I was as well. My mother was a farmer.
Where did you mine?
In the kingdom of Rockthorl. It's the Dragonborn kingdom. Rokthrl.
Rockthorl.
Across the Mistlands. Beautiful mountain ranges where I lived.
Can you spell that one more time?
Rokthrl. Kingdom of the Dragonborn. It's where they all settled. Beautiful mountain ranges. But I was approached about 15 years ago by a group of drow and elves. They needed miners with experience in Green Ridge. My parents were getting older in age and I wanted them to be able to retire, so I traveled with them because the promise of money was excellent.
Yeah.
That I would be able to help them to retire sooner. When I arrived, I was... there wasn't really a job. I was forced to work in the mines in Green Ridge, tirelessly. Mostly in areas where others could not go due to the pressure and heat. Being a Dragonborn, I have more resistance to deeper underground.
Yes. You said 15 years ago?
Yes, roughly.
How? It's hard for me to discern from him probably how old he looks, right? With having very minimal experience with Dragonborn.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he looks beat up.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I was
it's-
just genuinely
yeah.
asked then. 15 years ago would have made you how old, sir?
I was 20 when I left.
20. Okay.
30. I had experience as a minor already.
Sure.
20 wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
30.
Okay.
My parents were getting older, so they threatened my family. They had me dig for ores and gems and searching for a specific cavern entrance that was rumored to be somewhere within that cave system. And I slipped my guard by squeezing through a small opening. Well, I say small, it was smaller than my giant guard, but not smaller than me.
All right.
And I found a tunnel that was winding through the mountain deeper, and then found a set of crags that led up to the surface, and I climbed. I ran south. I hitched a ride on a caravan. A wealthy banker needed security for his ride across the Mistlands, so I took a job. He was heading to one of the 2 tiefling kingdoms. I was told not to ask questions, but the banker let slip in a conversation with one of the other compatriots in the caravan that the money that he was transferring was to be given to the tieflings for some sort of asset of war. The tiefling kingdoms craft spells and magics. And on our way there, fortunately, we were robbed by the Jade Serpent. And rather than defending the banker, I told Evelyn's men my story, that my family needed help, and what the banker was here to do. I offered my surrender if they would allow me to take a horse and enough money to move my parents somewhere safe. So we took the money, the caravan, and left the banker stripped in the Mistlands to meet likely an unfortunate end. And that's when I met Evelyn. And they explained that they could absolutely help my family, and I have been helping her and been her right hand since that day, and I would die for her.
Very chaotic friendship, well, at least at the start, but a very honorable thing to say about her.
Yes. She is a wonderful woman. She has helped a great many people, and I imagine will do so until her dying day.
You once spoke to me saying that we shared some kinship. I didn't realize it was so close.
Yes, I did not wish to speak of my past quite so soon, with you having just escaped yours. I figured the discussion might be too much for you at the time.
Well, I was told by someone that you can keep running, or you could face it head on, which is exactly what I plan on doing.
That's good.
It's going to be an awful day for anyone who stands in my way down there.
Yes.
You
From
said... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You said there was a banker
Yes.
going to a tiefling kingdom. And that tieflings craft spells?
Yes, they, the 2 tiefling kingdoms have been at war for as long as anyone can remember. There is an area between the 2 kingdoms that no one really goes. They simply craft magics, they craft spells, they attempt to alter what normal magic does to amplify its effect, and they hurl it at the other's army.
And what kingdoms are they?
I gave you my map, hold on.
Yeah. You just want this one?
Yeah, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah.
Is Greenridge where?
Benjamin's family.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The Chiron dynasty and the Amnon Empire, which is 19, and then the one that is labeled John.
Thank you.
The Chiron dynasty was the Tiefling kingdom. The Amnon Empire split off thousands of years ago. And they've been at war ever since. Really to no end. No one really knows why.
Do they even know why?
Anymore, probably not. I think they just are perpetually at war. Honestly, for them, I think it's good for business. It allows them to continue to innovate on magics. Mostly magics of war. But warlords pay top dollar for things like that. Spells that are stored in items, increased potency, alterations on spells.
I wouldn't be surprised if our friends over in the Black Flowers Cavern haven't spoken with any of these warlords.
I imagine they have. Or at the very least have purchased something from them.
There were all kinds of strange magics used on me. And, I guess you could say what I have is what could be considered a curse. Having someone like Ophelia to move the curse onto the next person and then amplify it could be a bad time.
Yes.
Do you think that they took her intentionally for that purpose, or perhaps don't know yet what she can do?
I'm not sure. She may have been targeted for that nature. She may have been targeted for her royal heritage. But the Black Flowers control much of this kingdom from the shadows. I'm not sure what good a former figurehead would do. Especially with... I mean, they can afford to pay for changelings. They can just replace people. I don't know why they would need her.
If she was taken with your two friends, perhaps she just got caught up with someone they intended to grab?
Well, she had been targeted prior by someone in the Elvish Kingdom, which is why she got in contact with us in order to be relocated. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. She may have just been caught on the crossfire, but once they discover what she is capable of, which they will, and I imagine by now they have, it will be no good for her.
They don't like to waste time with that sort of thing.
No. And I worry for my brothers. They're not magic users. I'm worried that they will simply be fodder for spells and tests. Or simply killed before even arriving. But I have to hope. I can't leave them there. And the thought of them having Ophelia... If whatever they were trying to do with you, if they could transfer that to her, kill you, and then transfer that curse to someone that is already cursed, possibly afflicted with a similar thing, I don't know what would happen. Or the ability for them to wield cursed objects and then have the curse removed from them. They would be able to wield incredibly powerful artifacts without the repercussions. That is dangerous.
Only in the wrong hands.
Yes.
Have they ever shown interest in you? They're always on the lookout for oddballs, and kind of stick out. It's the scars, I think.
Yes. There's not many Dragonborns this side of the Mistlands, but thankfully I've not been caught in the crossfire yet. Most of us reside on the other side. They are not really eager to return to these kingdoms.
Too many bad memories from the days of old.
Do you know where you come from?
Me personally, or Dragonborn?
Dragonborn, your type.
I've heard stories. Thousands of years ago, someone needed an army that they could control. Originally attempting to just tame dragons and have dragon riders. There were others, elves, that had already either bartered with the dragons or figured out how to tame them themselves. And the human kingdom wanted something similar and experimented, resulting in, my kind. And at the end, they were attempted to be eradicated. Their existence was no longer needed, and they were considered a plague on the success of the human kingdom, of how it came to be. But they were set free, and they fled. So, most of them not eager to return here, despite not all of us knowing, but we've heard the stories. Even with thousands of year difference, it still stings to walk here.
Which human kingdom was this?
Well, at the time there was only one human kingdom. They only split later during the war. But the kingdom that at the time had created us would have been the kingdom that became our Fjordain. But again, they were one and the same at the time. They only split over what to do with us.
Makes sense why you picked up and moved all the way to Rockthor.
Yes. No king wants to be tied to something like that when peace has been made. But this is thousands of years past. The families that controlled the kingdoms are not even the same anymore.
Well, it's time for us to write our own history, I guess.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I guess it's up to you to decide what's in the next chapter.
My hope is that we will successfully rescue anyone that we can from that place.
I don't know, can you still swing a sword? You look pretty old.
I'm not that old, Engir.
You've been wasting away in this shack, serving pint after pint. You're one strong, probably strong, good arm, but the other, not so much anymore.
It has been a bit since I have faced real combat, but I still go out and save people. I think I can still fight. Enough to save my brethren anyway.
We shall see. Especially if you're standing shoulder with me.
Yes. I would say that I look forward to fighting alongside you all, but it is incredibly dangerous.
Knowing the things that lie ahead for us, we may jest and make joke and make light now, but it is very possible we could be walking into just a death pit.
We have done enough reconnaissance to know that several of the members within the Blackflower militia are leaving the kingdom in a few days' time, heading north. That's our window. It's the only time where they will not be at their full capacity, but even with that, the possibility of death, I will be upfront with you all. It is not off the table. We will send what resources we can. We will fight Not only for the people that are there, but for the people that have not made it. And for Endgear. The black flowers must be removed.
You said you were able to do reconnaissance.
Yes.
Have you heard of something referred to in what information you've been able to gather called the reflection?
We've heard speakings through the few people that we've been able to get inside the Black Flower stronghold through low-level jobs. It has been mentioned. The only thing that I am aware of is that there is some sort of protector that is guarding whatever they are trying to obtain. Some barrier that they are unable to get past. Not a magical barrier, mind you, a physical guardian of sorts.
And what is beyond this guardian that they're trying to obtain?
I'm not sure. But something very valuable. I imagine that their resources that they pool here in order to create magical warriors, seemingly by what they are experimenting with Endgear, is they are trying to amass some sort of an army to go somewhere, through something.
Beyond the canopy.
Yes. I don't know what that means, but I don't think it's here.
Whatever they're doing with this barrier, I suspect they're getting close to having what they need. We found a missive with our last encounter with a Black Flower operative that seemed to indicate as much. Forward momentum on some sort of project. Increase in familial power. I said pass him the...
Sure. Yeah, the translated version of this.
Yeah, and I would have translated it
Yeah.
to show it to Marcus.
That is troubling. I do wonder if part of what's being discussed in that letter was you, Endgear. This letter is new enough that the timeline would line up.
This letter from olden days, lady?
No, this one is from Lady Aran Blackflower to John Dar.
Did you share this one with us before?
Okay.
It's just now written out.
Okay.
If the Black Flowers are attempting to amass some sort of magical army, this is not only a rescue mission for the 3 people that were sent in. We have to kill them. I don't think it's enough to just take the rest of the people that were trapped there out. If we don't remove them from this city, I don't see... It will only delay them, it won't stop them.
Well, yes, I don't think that there's really much hope and prospect for redemption for any of these Black Flowers.
None that I know.
Not based on all that we know about them and all that they have clearly done to affect a large number of your group. Inadvertently or not.
Yes.
All the ones that we've heard of have been really bad people.
Yeah.
As Artemis said, this is incredibly dangerous. It is asking an incredible amount of you to journey inside and fight. If it is beyond your means or you do not wish to, we do not hold it against you in the slightest.
You don't need to ask.
I have to.
Oh, that's good. Wait, why?
I mean, they might know something about
The mirror. Yes. Very good.
Any questions that you may have for the people inside of this place, you better ask them quickly. I can't guarantee they'll stay breathing for very long.
They clearly write a lot of letters. So even if they can't say anything, there might still be information.
Mm-hmm.
They write a lot of stuff down.
Well, I mean, they have contacts in various cities and kingdoms, and they cross the Mistlands, it seems like, frequently. They have to keep in touch somehow.
They are pervasive. I'm not sure you'll be able to completely root them out from a singular location.
No, but at the very least, it seems like we should be able to. I anticipate handling Lady Auron Blackflower here.
Hmm.
And then whether or not she has any other associates in the area, we'll see when we get into the compound.
You know, Gorm was not there quite often. Only came through every once in a while.
But he is currently.
2 black flowers.
And then Fivril. Once in a while, I only ever saw him.
3 black flowers.
Him we are unsure of if he is here.
He only came through every so often, so who knows, he could be traveling.
Certainly.
Generally more elusive.
Yes. The one we should definitely keep our eyes open for is their head of security, Vol. I tried tracking him to keep tabs, but the bastard used it against me. That is how they found us.
Good if you said, did I know that particular person?
Let me go back through our conversation and double check. I believe.
I think so. I think I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that you would have known him. He obviously at the time was not the head of the
Right.
Blackflower Guard.
But has been around.
Yes. Yeah, you would have seen him, obviously less frequently than John Dar, but you would know that he was a part of the militia at the time.
And do I know if he is a changeling or not?
He is, yes.
He is.
Yes.
He's a quite ruthless depth fighter from what I've seen. And Lady Auron is, well, she's no bed of roses either. Extremely adept with her magics.
Magic. Alright.
And quite possibly even more with, how do you call it, dark magic?
Profane magics. Things that desecrate or corrupt the living.
Oh, so like filthy magics. I've been saying this the entire time.
Yes, very much like the John Dar man that you hit with that club.
Yes.
We have some magics of our own.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Pigeon does?
He definitely does.
Mr. Pigeon?
The clown. Scouting in the woods?
Yes.
Scout
Right.
clown.
Scout clown.
He's looking for the trapdoor that we had discussed previously and seeing if we could find any additional way into the compound itself.
Understood.
He's definitely got magic.
Yes.
Right?
The Dwarven brothers.
Yes,
Fighters?
fighters.
Alright.
Non-magic,
Well, that's fine.
but incredibly scrappy and resilient.
Good. We'll definitely need all the help that we can get.
In your reconnaissances of recent, have you seen any droids being pushed into building for use?
Not that we've had report of, but our last we've heard from was about a week ago. It's obviously hard to get messages in and out.
Yes. Only asking because, during my time down there, they had a few that they would send in for further experimentations. Might be something to consider being a danger.
Yes.
It's the last thing you want to find in a narrow corridor is a bear,
Yes.
or someone who could turn into one.
Yes.
But what if we became friends with a bear?
Yes.
The only thing that we'd heard regarding druids specifically is they spoke about at one of their dinners an experiment, a girl that they had forced to change into various animals, similar to a druid but not quite. Less magical, more half magic, half physical. Sort of an amalgamation of sorts.
Alright.
She was created.
Alright. We'll be on the lookout for her as well then.
This Ophelia,
Yes.
does she have any ties to the Fae?
I don't believe so. She is an Aasimar, so celestial. I'm not sure if she has Fae ties. I don't think so. Not that we've heard. We only got minor details back from the brothers, but not as far as we're aware.
Asimir?
Aasimar.
Asimar.
What does that word mean?
It's kind of like what you would call an angel. It's like a humanoid with large wings, but not bird wings.
You pitching her a parakeet?
Like Shimmer?
Not quite.
Dragon wings?
No, feathery.
Feathery, not bird. You lose me.
Yes, I'm sorry. It is incredibly confusing. They're not common, or at least not commonly known. But they do exist.
Okay.
Do we believe him?
I mean, she seems like she's telling. She's been forefront with you so far.
No reason not to.
Yeah.
Looking for some strange birds.
Do we believe in birds? Are there birds in this world, though?
Have we encountered
There
any
are
birds?
Birds have we
Birds are real in this world.
Oh, the one guy at the beginning had a hawk.
Mm, you're right.
And
There
the
were
hawk
birds here.
operated an elevator.
A hawk elevator.
The one feature that you'll need to look out for to recognize, well, that we'll need to look out for to recognize this other girl that they spoke of is her long mint green colored hair.
The one that can turn into a bear?
I don't think it was a bear specifically. I think she can become a bear, but there are other animals as well.
It's probably a good thing the young master isn't here. He was not fond of bears.
No, he never is.
He didn't like the owl bear either.
Part bear.
I think all things bear.
My bare chest. You'd never seem to be much of a fan.
You know, actually, I think he liked that.
Oh, well, that's good. I'll have to put that in my diary.
But when they discussed it, supposedly her hair was a point of attempting to disguise it on the next attempt, indicating that it was not a result of like a magical dye or something of that nature. It was an effect that they did not intend.
Interesting.
Possibly due to the druidic magics that presumably created her.
Mm-hmm.
But
similar to someone having glowing blue eyes, perhaps.
yes, perhaps.
If they have progressed any further and made more like me or similar, we should be very wary. Because if they do in fact have people down there fighting for them in similar condition to me, it could be a bit more of a fight than I anticipate.
I don't imagine that any of the people that are there in the same fashion that you were would be eager to fight.
Persuasion is a hell of a creature, though.
Yes.
Maybe
You
we
keep-
can do the persuasion.
You could try. You keep someone locked up in basement for long enough, they'll start recognizing who feeds them.
We have Cookie.
He's good at feeding us.
Cookie could feed the bear lady.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any cookies for bears?
Not in particular. I could make some, like, peanut butter honey ones or something to send with you guys, probably.
I think bears would like that.
You have to smash some nuts, but I'll make it happen.
I trust
Just really, hand pounded is the best way.
Oh, yes, it is, Cookie.
What do his hands look like?
Covered in peanuts.
Knuckles, like, really
knuckles.
just calloused.
Just peanuts embedded into his flesh.
He's the
No,
peanut man.
he's got fairly, like, calloused hands.
Let me put on my safety glasses.
Everything else immaculately oiled.
Yeah, skin.
Oiled?
Oiled.
He glistens in the
He
moonlight.
glistens in the moonlight, yeah. To attract the boars.
I hate to ask this, as I would very much like to see Lady Erin Blackflower into a similar position as Jondar, but I think perhaps it would be wise of me to sit this one out. I think that Belle could use someone to look after her longer term. And such a dangerous mission. I think perhaps we should find somewhere to settle away from the danger for a time. Do you think you can handle this? Down
I've
a
got
member?
Dandelion. When could we ever
I'll do
fail?
another illusion. Silent image. It's a bear.
Arm wrestling?
Yeah.
You've got a chance.
16.
See?
She's learning.
How could we ever lose?
In Gear's turn.
While Dandelion is facing away from me, I'm gonna cast Command on Angear.
I was just gonna throw it, but
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Dandelion grabs Engir's hand
Oh,
and becomes
oh,
this
ro-
big.
That's
Yeah, you
why.
become really tiny.
It's a
Throw her
disadvantage.
across the
it's a 9 on performance.
Dear God.
It's very clear that I'm just.
Well,
You're just pushing with both hands against his palm.
just. I'm basically just sitting on his hand
Yeah.
at this point. 9 on performance. What would I roll?
Insight.
Insight?
Nope.
Never.
Why
did you do that?
It went to 14 and he said no, but it was like, oh yeah, you're right, John. I rolled to a 4.
Yep.
Yeah, so you like push
You're not
and
allowed
sit
to
on Endgear's
understand.
hand, and
It's
it
an
just
8, so you got it, what, a 9?
9.
Yeah.
See? She's learning.
You're in good hands.
As is she.
Quite literally.
Stop touching me.
I think a child that is forced to grow up around violence will only ever know violence.
That is more accurate than you can imagine.
I don't suppose there is much left of Goldview, but not all the homes were burned, and no one would think to look in a village that doesn't exist anymore. And there are very beautiful views there still. In the forests, in what was left of the wheat fields, the peaceful mountains that overlook the water.
Perhaps it's quite the decision. I think maybe it would be best if, as you're going to hunt out the root of this particular problem, it might be best if you don't know where we settle.
Yeah.
I want to see the mountains before we find home.
Think we can do that?
Did you tell her of the ice cream mountains?
Why would you do this to me?
I twitch a little bit.
Bill,
What have you done?
I want the ice cream mountains.
there's a palace up in the mountains, far north. They make ice cream there.
I don't know what ice cream is.
Thank God.
It is the
do
greatest
this.
thing you could ever experience in your life. It is a delectable, sweet, cold treat.
I'll silent image and make an ice cream cone.
Look at that.
Like this.
I was
Oh no, that's magic.
This is
I was always promised this as a child. Unfortunately, never had a chance to go.
I was promised beatings.
That's
well,
why you're
that's
going
usually
to get
what
away.
I got instead of ice cream too. So
I want to see the gold and the trees that he said. And then somewhere else. But I want to see it.
I think we could do that.
you could see it all.
You're very young, Belle. You have many blissful, peaceful years ahead of you.
You could be anyone, anywhere.
I want to be Belle.
I think you're doing that. Good job.
Thank you. You're all nice people.
Thank you. We do our best.
Friends.
Always.
As much as I would love to stay and see Twig and Mr. Pigeon before we go, I think perhaps it would be best if we did not wait.
I will convey that to them. Sure, Mr. Pigeon would have much to say.
I'm certain
Talk your ear off and you would never get
I
to
would
get
never
out of
be
here.
able to get out of here.
Mhm.
I'm gonna dig out the storm flower that I took that we had found in the basement of the swamp cabin.
Way back when.
This should probably be with Twig as she continues her journey.
Yeah,
If you wouldn't mind.
yeah. We'll make sure she gets it.
Don't eat that one.
Hmm?
Don't eat that one.
No. No.
Yes, not without her permission at least.
Yes.
I don't think she'll give you permission to eat that one.
Probably not.
I also think you have to ask the flowers permission too. Because I
Yes.
think last time you ate one, it was screaming for help, right?
Yes.
It also made you very sick.
Yes, it was a very not good time.
You ate poisonous flowers.
I'm a paladin, I'm immune. I was attempting to discern what magical properties it might have possessed.
Understood.
I'm a curious man.
While we're
am.
while everyone's talking, I'm going to sneak one of the stink shrooms to Belle. You should take this.
My passive perception is 16.
You need me to roll. Would this be sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
18.
Okay. She rolled higher also.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with it?
If you smush it, it's really stinky.
Okay.
Only smush it if you want it to be really stinky.
I was gonna smush it. I won't smush it.
I would save it.
Okay.
in case
I was
you
gonna
need
smush it
something
right
stinky.
now.
Don't do it right now.
Okay.
You know, it would probably be good for Twig to have these as well. I'm going to pass you some blinding powder and an acid satchel.
All right.
And that's why I didn't see.
Gotta hold these weird goods. They go on the paladin bag.
Paladin tools.
Yep. I got a lot of tools. Yeah, I would, before seeing them off, I would kneel down to Belle and I would take off the ring of water walking. And I would, because my assumption is that in most magical items they accommodate the size
Resize.
for wear.
Absolutely.
I would hold it over her finger and then quietly slide it on. Should you ever look to very much have a wonderful time, especially with Rin, well, take a walk on the water. This ring will let you stay on the surface. Will also make it very easy should you ever need to try to give any of your new friends, wherever you end up, a good laugh. You can walk on water, and you can take it off, disappear beneath, put it back on, walk right back up.
So I can, like, walk out into a lake and take it off and then grab a fish and rock it back up, and then I have a fish.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a good gift. I've never gotten a gift before, other than the cookies the cookie gave me. Is that a gift?
Yes.
And the stink...
Marcus's gift is clearly superior.
nobody-
She doesn't. She
nobody
doesn't
saw
say
the
that,
stink.
but she does just like she looks at you because she clearly understands that you were trying to be subtle. So she's not going to say it, but she would just and the cookies
Yeah.
and these clothes.
Well, I guess if I ever find a little girl wearing this ring, I'll at least know it's you.
And because I'll look like me.
Yes.
I might not initially.
Yes.
Ren's trying to teach me how to be a different people.
Yes. That's what I mean.
Yes, but for friends, you could be yourself.
I'll recognize you even if you're old.
It's the lack of shirt.
And all the weird drawings.
Yes. I know.
Probably have more by then.
Probably. And you're very small. So I'll recognize you. And your hair's crazy and you have flowers.
That's true.
And you kind of bounce around when you walk. And you're really happy all the time. I hope that I can be as happy as you someday. But this is the happiest that I've ever been with all of you.
I'm sure there's plenty more time to also be happy. Especially if you're going on an adventure.
Yeah. And you're really scary, but I like you.
Thank you.
You make me laugh.
You're scary too. I like
Yes.
that.
Scary is good sometimes.
Yeah.
I like your bones and your nails.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you stare at stuff.
Sorry, he's getting a little bit emotional. What the hell? I'll take it out. The skull.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's going to miss you.
I'm going to miss him too.
But they're mine. Fine. Here. I'll pull one of my nails off and give it to her. He told me that I should give this to you.
Thank you.
He said that.
Now I can poke things.
Mm-hmm. If you ever get in the jam, it's nice to have something pointy.
Thank you. You are all wonderful friends.
As are you, Bill.
I'm going to miss you.
As will we. But we'll find you again someday. In a much more peaceful world.
Yeah. She walks over and just like pats Shimmer on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Just huffs.
Yeah. As usual.
I think that goes for you too.
Yes.
It'll be nice to put your feet up for once.
Different this time, I think, than the last. But nice.
Should you ever need for anything, Emmerich will provide. Don't feel obligated to attempt to immediately run to try to find work.
Understood. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. You too. I would then pull the drift globe. You can't make light like we can. And I don't know where you're going.
Very well.
This way, wherever person I find in the future who has this, I'll know it's you.
Unless I give it to someone else.
Well,
You could get money for that.
certainly. I would at the very least look for it.
I'll be close.
That's good. It's very good.
Just right behind.
Yeah.
And may the All-Father smile on your travels.
Thank you.
Keep your backs to the cold.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
And that's what I fear, is I just might.
Dandelion?
I'm just gonna run over to Ren and just
It's the
drop in.
handshake of leaving. I'm gonna lean down and whisper in Dandelion's ear. Marcus was lying about the handshakes. Keep playing though, I think he enjoys it.
Did I ever figure out? This is brand new information. Do you feel Dandelion just like
Marcus has never lied to you. As far as you're aware.
I know that's not true. Because he lied to me about about Bryn.
Marcus has never lied to you.
This is an
I've caught Marcus in some of his lies.
Disagree.
Keep an eye out for secret compartments. make sure Marcus doesn't hand himself over to the law again.
I yelled at him last time.
You might have to yell at him again. I think he needs you.
I won't let him out of my sight.
Perfect.
I'm going to leave the room.
I would genuinely leave the room. Okay. Not because of that. I was doing.
He's on his way out of the room as you say.
Literally, I was in my head. I'm going to go outside. I have my fine steed. I was going to offer them a horse for the first mile because I can telepathically call it back. So, like, I was going to go outside and ready my horse. I'll never let him out of my sight. Where's Marcus?
You're losing him.
Yeah, so when they leave, I'll have them leave so that way you're up there when they leave, and then...
Yes.
Yeah, that works. That's perfect. That's nice. That's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's escaping.
Oh.
He'll be alright, Dandelion. There are people upstairs that will watch out for him.
Ouch! A ladder! No!
It's the opposite of a cow. Can't go up the
Yep.
ladder, only down.
Maybe not always in your sight, but
I'll keep an eye on him.
yes.
Watch out for holes in the ocean. They're real.
That's
They're real. I've seen them.
good advice.
I've heard about them. I haven't seen them, but I've seen pictures of them, and they're out there. Maybe don't go in the ocean.
That's
Ever.
probably smart. I think that I will avoid the... You should avoid the ocean as well.
I usually do.
Usually?
Well, we had to go on we were on the boat the one time.
It's true enough.
We had to do that. And if I need to find the mirror and I need to go in the ocean, then I'll have to do that as well.
Just watch out for the holes.
Yes.
Unless, of course, the mirror is in one of the holes, in which case...
That's a
whole
that's-
other...
Oh. I didn't think about that.
Yes, well...
I don't know anything about this world. Except for what I've seen.
You're learning.
But be careful.
You as well. Keep an eye on Mr. Pigeon and Twig.
They're really slippery. I don't know if I can watch them.
Yes, well, not as much as Marcus, but like...
Sometimes they just disappear.
It's always covered in oil.
Still the fish oil from the fish barrels.
I think they could use a protector as well.
I'll do my best.
I believe in you.
Good luck.
And you too. You're going to find that mirror. You have to, or Ron will be in trouble.
That's true. And then maybe one day you can visit my home with everyone.
I would like that. And maybe the young master will still be there.
He might. Ooh.
That guy.
Ooh. Woof.
Oh, he's trapped.
It's really nice there though, so he's fine.
If you see him again, make sure he gets his YM throne. He left it behind.
Have we just been carrying that around?
We have.
You have a bag of holding from
Does
Ren.
it fit in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's collapsible.
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
Most things know that, yes.
He's
Most things. The banana. No. The full litter. Yes. Okay.
He's going to be needing the YM throne. I'm sure of it.
Dudley was a great craftsman. It's incredibly collapsible.
It's like a camping chair.
It's a camping
Dudley's
chair, yeah.
incredibly collapsible YM throne.
Yes, precisely.
Young money.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Well, we should be leaving, I think. And yeah, been a pleasure. Maybe don't break windows every time you enter a church.
I make no promises.
Understood.
These are new churches, not my churches. Yes. There's a reason my churches don't have windows.
Because they just...
Shoulder tackle the windows in your churches?
Oh god, no, it's because they're outside. See?
I see.
That was a joke. But, you take care. And, good luck finding out who's truly in there.
Good luck finding Vol.
I'll give him a good one for you.
Yes. Try to remember that there are more things worth living for than that. Even when it doesn't seem that way.
Can you keep secret? And I'll, like, kind of have an aside with you. Once this is all taken care of and done, I truly wish to do as you are. And have quiet. I really want to make furniture. Chairs.
Chairs? Like thrones? Or
No, common man chairs.
I think Marcus has some practice in that field of study.
He has chairs in the field?
I've seen him do work on chairs in the past. Chair work.
Just my leg up on the back of a chair. Just
Really works the chair.
There's no way I can get my
In
foot
the
as high as
field?
the bar, or I would. I will kick something and hurt myself. Right into the shelf.
That's what'll take out the shelf finally.
Yes, finally. Is me strip teasing behind the bar.
That's the premium content.
Yeah, that's the very good content. To the Patreon.
To the Patreon with
That
you.
doesn't have any people in it because I closed it. Intentionally. We're here.
We're doing it.
I think you would be good at that.
I long for simple tasks. Something that doesn't hang my life and my ancestors above my head all day, every day.
Hold on to that.
I will.
I know.
But not before I ruin some people that ruined me first.
Nails through the skulls of every mage you find. Except for the... Don't do that to the young master.
Yes, only the bad magics.
Profane, I think, is what Marcus was saying.
Provocative, yes.
Yes, the provocative. Yes,
The chair magic!
Something about working a chair.
Marcus is a master of provocative magic.
The School of Magic is pole.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing without the shirt.
Yes, these profane magics.
Just instead of Magic Mike, it's Magic Marcus.
Magic Marcus.
Magic Mark.
Oh no.
MARC.
Marky Mark.
Does that make the rest of them the Funky Bunch?
Yes.
He's got some good vibrations about it, so it's good.
You can trust them.
And next time if I ever have to find you, I will come out and just say hi first.
Yes, don't. Especially not if I'm in a home. Don't.
Oh, no, not through the window. No, I mean, I won't follow your whereabouts
Stalk me for months and then show
That
up.
sounds so
in the
bad
midst of
when you
combat.
say it. It sounds really bad when you say it.
Why
I
does it
was
sound like
looking
that?
after. I was looking after you.
Totally normal practice.
Yeah, you get
It
paranoid.
worked out.
Yes, it did. But that simplicity, we will find it.
Yes. I'm sure you will someday. Hopefully soon.
Yes, and if you are going to mountains to take Belle to see the heights, be careful if you find yourself in the northern mountains. There is Ice Cream Kingdom there, but there's also many awful, horrible things.
I'll be careful then.
And, well, I guess until next time.
Yes. I'm gonna take my leave from this room.
Yeah. Bella's gonna run up to the two of you, hug you both. Thank you.
Be safe.
You too.
And take care of Ren.
Okay. Bye. And then turn and follow Ren out. So I will have the two of you depart.
We're departing.
Thank you.
Were we able to escape this basement without the assistance of...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because they hadn't reset everything because you're down there actively.
Basement within a basement within
yeah.
a basement.
So you make your way up and then up again, out the doors, and you see your good friend Marcus.
Yeah, I would have just stopped inside. I forget the name of the person that they had managing the bar because they went down with us.
Mhm.
I would have just tried to get additional rations and things like that for them for the journey because I do not know how far away they go.
Sure.
Packed them into a few, additional like pouches and sacks and whatnot, and made sure that I strapped all the provisions to my horse, and I would just be standing outside, waiting, just kind of looking up at the night sky. You can make at least the first mile of the journey easier.
Thank you.
Of course. Just obviously make sure that the bags are strapped to you, because when it gets far enough away, it will come back to me, naturally.
Yes. Little expediency never hurt anything.
Yes. Figured it also makes it a bit easier on a young girl's legs.
Yes.
I promised you when we first met that I would make it worth it that you didn't kill me. I hope that I have.
You have.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
You as well.
No more submitting to corrupt politicians. For the sake of the others. Particularly Dandelion.
Yes, I know.
Think she would follow you to the end.
And I must make sure that whatever end it is peaceful and beautiful for her sake. And now for Belle.
Yes.
Should you ever need us.
I'm sure I'll be able to find you at least.
What can I say? Try to make myself as easy on the eyes as I can.
Known.
Yeah. Till next time.
Till next time.
Yeah, I would assist little Belle, and I don't know whether or not Ren is the most proficient with horseback, but I would assist Belle up behind Ren.
Yeah.
Make sure that the rope and stuff has all of their additional provisions like actually attached to them.
To them, yeah.
Yeah, because again, like
They'll-
don't want
they'll
the
van-
horde.
yeah.
Yeah, like again, the point is like, here you go, like go off with these things, farewell. Yeah, and then I would slap my horse on the back side and watch them off into the night.
Yeah, as you help her onto the horse, she flips around and hugs you around the neck.
While she is hugging me, I would attempt to whisper something into her ear.
Sure.
I am a 14 for sneaky talking.
Passive perception is 16.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll?
Yes. Let's see what the dice have to say.
This one. It's a 15 on the die.
Yeah, so you catch
For
wind.
21.
Yeah, you catch wind of what's being said.
Yeah. I would say, make sure you hold on very tightly.
Thank you. You're a really good man, Mr. Shaw.
Thank you. You can just call me Marcus.
You're a really good man, Marcus.
Thank you, Belle.
Thank you for everything. And for being a friend.
You as well, Belle.
She gives you a little kiss on the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Turns around and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would hug her back and ruffle her little hair. You said it's purple?
yeah, it was like a bright red.
Oh, red.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, ruffle her hair. Give her a kiss on the cheek. Pat the horse.
And you watch them cascade off into the night.
And the
Watch your
horse gets
steed.
about, I don't know, 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold up the drift globe, and I'm gonna say, fair trade, just in case you keep trying to get yourself hit. I'm gonna flick something in your direction.
Sure, I would attempt to catch whatever it is. It's flicked
Sure.
in my direction.
I'll say you do.
Sure.
You have a ring of evasion.
Marcus looks at you with a great sense of power that has now entered into his grasp.
Paladin.
And the thought that was in his head to warn Belle, the thought to dismiss the horse actively, to have them both plummet to the ground, passes as he places the ring of power onto his finger.
One ring, Marcus.
I'll never forget them.
Very good.
Dismiss the horse. 100%. I really would. Because I'm a Chad. Yeah. And because I know you fuck with people all the time.
I feel like I would land on my feet knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you would just be riding.
From me telling Belle, hold on tight, I love the thought of them genuinely falling to their feet and me hearing, like, us, because I don't want it to be, like, too far,
Right,
like,
yeah,
I am
yeah.
Grinchly listening. Like, hearing them on their feet, and it's just like, damn it! Fucking rogues! And then walk in the tavern again.
That's very good. Yeah, you land on your feet and just
Steady smile.
What a Chad.
Yep. That's a very good way for those two characters to part, I think.
Yep, exactly.
Less words, more trolling. I think that's the... But still, the
If I could have done it to Young Master, I would have.
for sure. Yeah. If he
He
didn't...
got lucky.
Yes,
He blew up in
if
his
he
own
didn't
room.
explode all over his room. Yeah. No, absolutely. And still the nice exchange of the items at the end.
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
Call him back in.
Well, I'll do his thing separately.
Goodbye.
And then I will call everyone back in at the end. So, the two of you find yourself now walking north.
As expected.
As expected. You, on your way, walk for a couple of days. One second, let's pull something up. My notes open. On your way north, you kind of camp off the road a little bit, just to kind of avoid being directly on the road. You teach Belle how to cook, start to teach her how to hold a mask better.
I think I would teach her the mask of Elia, the face that I used when I first left a life of danger for a life of peace.
Sure. And it takes her a few nights, and she finally is able to get, 99% of it, save for the eyes. Every so often there's, one feature swapped or something, but she's able to hold a true mask. And she just kind of looks at her hands and looks at herself. Am I still me?
You are. It's a choice. An expression of yourself. But you're still you.
In here? And tap her on the forehead.
Yeah.
If you weren't you, you wouldn't think to ask that question.
That's true. I am me.
You are.
Belle.
Yes.
No one's ever helped me like this before.
Yes, you heard the Lady Evelyn speaking about her circumstance from the same place that I am from. I suspect, considering where we found you, a similar place that you came from, a kingdom to the south.
I don't remember much.
Yes, it's... For those of us that leave that place the way that you and I did, and they tried to do so early. It seems earlier with you even than it was for me. They waited until I could hold mask. I think perhaps it would be good when we're done sightseeing if we went in that direction. Perhaps together we could create some sort of stopgap between those like us that are being taken from that place. Give them a place to belong that isn't as harsh as wherever they might have landed. What do you think of that idea?
I like that. I want to go there after we see the lions.
But not too close.
Okay.
I think lions are dangerous.
Okay. We'll just look at them and see them, the mountains and the gold fields and the forest and stuff, and then we'll go save all those people.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That sounds good.
And perhaps we can leave behind the prayers for Marcus's people in that place. It was an unfortunate thing that happened there.
I would like that. And as you're standing here talking, you see a caravan begin to crackle in the view down the road. And it gets closer. And by the lantern light, surprisingly, you see a familiar face. The face of Erlin, the man that ferried you across the Mistlands when you escaped. And the two of you standing by the edge of this forest on the edge of the road, you see a flicker of recognition go across his face when he sees Belle. And he quickly halts the caravan and looks over. Kind of adjusts his glasses. Apologies, I don't know how this can be possible, but... And he points at Belle. You look incredibly familiar, strikingly so.
About how far away is he?
About 15 feet.
I would... Guess when I realize that when I recognize his face, like as he's getting close, I recognize him before it seems like he is kind of taken aback.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
I think that I probably would have turned away from him momentarily.
Sure.
And shifted my features to be similar to the features of Elia.
Sure.
Almost like a slightly older version of that person.
Sure.
It's been a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's been I think 4 years.
Sure. And I guess I would turn back as he's saying that you seem familiar.
Yeah.
Erlen, it's been a while?
Yes, several years. I can't believe I never expected to see you again.
Yes, well... It's a strange world.
Yes. What are you doing out in the woods, camping?
We were on our way to Goldview to take in the sights. I heard it was recently destroyed. I was hoping to leave some prayers, some well wishes behind for the people that were once there.
Sure, yes. I am passing through that way. I'd be happy to take you the rest of the way there and...
That would be lovely.
Continue on my way.
This is my daughter, Belle.
Very nice to meet you, Belle. It's quite a small world, is it not?
It is. What brings you out of the Mistlands?
Just more deliveries. Mail has to get where it's going. Taking a different route. Change up the scenery.
I don't suppose you're heading south anytime soon?
Yes, I'm heading north, and then turning around, coming back south. Do you need to ride south as well?
As far as you could take us. We
Of course.
wouldn't mind the company.
Absolutely. I'd be happy.
Be better than walking. Our horse
Yes.
ran off.
Ah.
Quite a Chad, that one.
I understand the type. I'm terribly sorry, but it can't be tamed, those Chads.
No. No, they really can't be.
Wonderful friends, though.
Yes. Shirtless as ever.
Hop aboard, and we'll get going. I've got some stew in the back. You feel free to help yourself to it, please.
All right. If there's anything that we can do to repay the kindness. Just say the word.
That's no bother. Suppose you could sort some of the mail. There's a big sack in the back. I would help if you sorted it into the 2 different boxes back there. That would be a great help to me.
We can do that.
Thank you. They're marked north or south.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course.
I'd help Belle up into the carriage.
Yeah. The two of you sit and traveled a few days' time back north, conversing with Erlin and sorting the mail, reminiscing of the short time that you did spend together the first time around, and kind of telling Belle about the Mistlands that you crossed. And you arrive in Goldview, and Erlin tells you that he'll be back in a day's time, that he has to continue north, and he'll pass back this way in a day's time.
I tell him to bring ice cream if he's coming back past Southport.
Of course, I can manage that.
Good. I was really hoping we wouldn't have to go to the mountains.
Yes, no, I can absolutely bring that back.
In a day, and whoosh, he heads off. And the two of you spend the remainder of that daytime walking amongst the waterfalls that Marcus described and seeing the beautiful cascading forests that kind of ripple down the side of this hill. And despite the burnt grain fields, you can see small sprouts of golden wheat poking up through the soil once again. And as you kind of circle through this space and watch the lions from safety in the trees and make your way back up the hill, you see above you, kind of coming into view, almost like a sunrise as you walk up this hill, this tree, this grand, blackened, cracked tree rising up in front of you, the tree that Marcus described. And you see small little buds starting to peek through this cracked, charred wood. And you can see that small blue flowers have bloomed. And they almost look like the sky, like a cloudless sky, like a daytime blue. These flowers as they poke through, and they're rather beautiful. And you make your way to the base of this tree, and you...
Large tree?
Very large, yeah.
You see, it talked about there being like a statue that was near it or on it or part of... Right, this is that space.
Yeah, there is like how some trees have the like circles in the center. Mm-hmm. There is a spot where it looks like something. Yeah, a hollow where it looks like something might have been, and you can see that there are 2 grave markings at the base of this tree.
Names. Stones.
I'm not sure if Marcus would have written the names on
druidic symbols.
Yes, more likely I would say druidic symbols, yeah.
Do I recognize them from the little bit he was able to teach me in our time together?
Yes. Let me pull up Marcus. I would say that the one on the right would be the druidic symbol for wood and hammer and justice. And the one on the right would be a small carving of a beautiful flower and the druidic symbol for wish.
think perhaps that this is where Marcus left his parents to rest after the town was destroyed.
That's very sad.
Yes, he puts up a good front. But he had much taken from him, as you did, as I did as well. I think that these are the people we should leave our prayers with in this place.
What do we say?
Whatever feels right, if anything feels right. And if nothing feels right, I think just the intent to leave behind your desire for another, to wish for them whatever it is you might. I think that this world often tries to take much from us. And it's hard to describe, but sometimes just knowing that someone else wants for it to be different is enough to keep us going.
She's going to kneel down in front of the two graves.
I hope they bloom into beautiful flowers. Because if they're as good as Marcus is, even if they're gone, I think they can still make something pretty.
I think they already have.
She looks up at the tree.
I think that's them.
I think you're right. I hope when his journey is done that he if he wants to, that he finds a way to make this place home again. He talks about it with such fondness. I hope that he is able to raise his own family here. Perhaps see it in a better political position than it was.
I hope so.
Hope he is able to return his God's statue to this place to watch over his parents. He deserves that much.
I think so. They're all good people.
They are.
Even the scary ones.
Yes, even the scary ones.
I'm glad we came here. Before we go.
Yes. It is good to remember those that are not in exactly the same position that we are.
Yeah.
I would, guess I would kneel and I would start kind of trying to teach her these symbols that are left on these semblance of gravestones. The little bit that Marcus taught me.
Sure. Absolutely. And I think you teach her at least those couple words that you recognize. The two of you, after doing this walk over to one of the houses that seems to be in okay condition, and you sleep kind of looking up through the couple holes in the ceiling at the stars above. And you rest. You feel safe here. It's not the first restful night that you've had in a while, but it's the one that you feel the most at peace. And you fall asleep and wait until the morning comes. And it does, as it has every day. But you look outside as you awaken by the sun, and you see this field with the little bits of gold popping up through the ground, the burnt, charred ground. And it looks as if the field itself is glistening with daylight, as these small little buds ripple back and forth in the wind. And you see at the base of the hill Erlin's caravan parked, waiting for you to return.
Yeah, I would get Belle up and guide her over to the caravan.
Mm-hmm. And Erlin turns to you and flips open a little container. I got a bunch of flavors. I didn't know what you would want. Just an assortment.
Belle? Ice cream. That we don't have to go into the dangerous mountains for.
Okay. And she just reaches in and just, like, grabs it with her hand.
Mm-hmm. Just...
Yeah. It's really cold.
It is.
My brain hurts.
It will do that. But it does taste good, yes?
Mm-hmm. It is the most wonderful treat. I've never had anything like it. Thank you, Mr. Erlin. You're quite welcome, dear. She just...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's cold.
Yes. Don't eat it all in one sitting.
But it's good.
It is good, but I think if you ate it all in one sitting, you would regret it.
Okay. She puts it back.
Mm-hmm. Handprint and all.
Yeah.
So, southwards then?
Yes. Southwards. Can take you as far as the... I'm heading down into the Halfling Kingdom. It's as south as it goes.
All right.
You're free to get off wherever you'd like.
I think most of the way.
All right. Absolutely. Well, let's be off. Whips the reins and you cascade into the day, traveling through more beautiful landscape that you had not overlooked on your way south with your friends, but kind of had more of an opportunity to observe now, and point out things to Belle along the way. Takes like a week and a half for you to get down into the Halfling Kingdom, as you skirt along the edge of Arbor through the forest and down into the curved Halfling Kingdom that extends out into the sea. And you catch the first whiff of sea air that sounds familiar. The sea air in the north was a little bit different as you guys crossed into Southport on your ship. It gives you almost a wave of not familiarity, not quite familiarity, but like lost memories that kind of scratch the edge of your brain.
Are there any holes in the sea?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, good.
No sea holes. and you get to the small town of Flowerton at the edge of the Halfling Kingdom. Well, this is as far as the land goes. I'm gonna drop off my letters and then turn and head back the other way.
So I appreciate your willingness to have us along.
Of
I'm
course.
certain there's nothing more we can do for you.
Nothing at all. Your company and conversation was more than enough, and you helped sorting the mail. Belle, you did a great job. Thank you. I'm a mail person. That's right, and you could be someday if that's what you'd like to do. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Erlin. She gives him a hug, then steps back. This was nice.
It was. I think we're getting close. We just need to find our way across. And turn and look out. Can I see land beyond the water?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can see that in the distance there is like a shipyard. If you're looking for a passage across, there are plenty of ships down there that you can rent. Do you have coin?
Enough, I think.
All right. If you need anything, should our paths cross again, just look for the light.
Yes, if you bump into a small girl, wild blonde hair, flowers, very excitable. She'll be traveling with a young man, a Chad of a man, a shirtless Chad of a man. You'll know the one.
All right.
Tattoos. Handsome
Sure.
fellow, but shirtless.
Shirtless.
Almost certainly shirtless. Should you ever bump into this pair, make sure you offer the young girl the handshake of the mailman before they ask for it. They will ask for it.
Of course.
Just offer it. You'll blow her mind.
All right. I'll try to remember. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
Good luck.
Just good luck with the mail.
Thank you.
Wherever that takes you next.
Back north and then back across the Mistlands and doing a big old loop this time. But when I pass back through, I'll look for those too.
Yes.
Thank you for the company.
Thank you for the ride.
Good luck. He flips the reins and crackles across the stones of the street into the distance.
And I would head into town where he was pointing to try to find somebody that can ferry us across.
Yeah, absolutely. You walk down to the docks and you see like a small kind of like rent a boat place, like hire a boatman.
Boat.
Yeah, little swan boat. You see that there's like a stand, and you see a red-haired, freckled, glasses guy, looks to be about 25, standing behind it, just kind of perusing through a book, and you walk forward under the little canopy that he is standing under. Hi, can I help you today?
I don't suppose you get many requests to head to the kingdom across the way there.
Not many. What business have you got over there?
Just sightseeing with my daughter.
And he looks over, and he smirks a little bit. That would make you a changeling then too, huh?
I'm
The
gonna
eyes.
look down at her.
Yeah, and you can see that her eyes are not changed, and he pulls a cord to his side, and the little like curtain flap behind you just folds down. Bit more privacy. The two of you escape. She looks too young to be... Or did you live in the center?
It's a long story. We've both been gone from there for quite some time. It was
hoping to get the feel of things, perhaps do the place a bit of good.
I figured if you're looking to go back, you're trying to make a difference.
Yes,
Sightseeing in the sense of seeing the sights.
yes. Is it still bad down there?
It is. But my group, I think we've got a way to help you with what you're looking to do. It's what we're also doing.
Protecting the lost.
Yes. Getting as many people out as we can. Smuggle in, smuggle out. So I can definitely get you in.
Would be helpful.
Name's Simon.
Ren.
Nice to meet you, Rin. Yeah, I can get you over there. Nightfall. If you meet me down on the dock, it'll be the boat with the green light on. Step aboard. I'll get you over there. Connect you with my people and try to get you some help so that way you can start helping others. Does that work for you?
It does. Don't take this the wrong way, Simon, but if this isn't what it seems to be, I will find you.
I understand. I'll be here every day. This is what I do. I help people get in, I help people get out. We're called the Whispered Blade.
Well, here's to a fruitful partnership then.
Yes. You're one of the first few that's actually wanted to go back to that place, but there's been a couple others that have made their way out and want to help, so you'll be with good people. I won't be there, but I'll see you from time to time, if you're able to get some people out.
Let's hope that we do.
Yeah.
Nightfall then, and he pulls the cord behind him and the curtain flips back up. And that'll be 3 gold for the rental of the boat there for the day. And just make sure you have it back by 6 p.m. That's when we close.
Very good.
All right. Will two of you have some fun on the water?
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Good day.
You as well.
You step out, and the two of you wander around the city for the remainder of the light part of the day and enjoy some food at the local inn. You hear some halfling groups singing happy songs, and you see Belle kind of tapping her feet along with the music and seeming to enjoy, and for the first time looking more like a normal child than you really had ever seen her over the course of your travels and your time with her. And she seems to be adapting quicker than you would have expected to normal life. And sun sets, you make your way down to the dock, and you see this boat with a green lantern off to the side.
Daggers at the ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a guess.
Yeah. You make your way down, you step onto this boat. Simon peeks his head out. You ready to go?
Yes.
You're sure about this?
Yes. It's been a hard life.
I understand.
Doesn't have to be for everyone.
Right. Off we go. And he unties the rope, kicks the boat out, and throws up a small sail, and you start slowly puttering your way through the water for what feels like a few hours. And based on looking at the moon, it's only about an hour, but to you it feels almost like an eternity as you cascade across the water, as the shadow of the place that you came from, the stench of the place that you came from fills your nostrils, almost cutting through the saltiness of the sea air. It's as if every wave that you hit is a punch in the chest. You feel for a moment as if you are back in the basement, running, hiding. And you feel a small hand reach out and grab yours as you hit a particularly large wave, and you snap back and you see Belle holding your arm with both of her hands. And that feeling starts to dissipate as you feel like things might be okay. That returning to this place, despite what it means if either of you are caught, that at least you'll have each other, and you will have done good things in the world. And you continue forward, and time returns to normal. And the boat dips under a bridge, the bridge, and he runs up along under the bridge, along the center, up back towards the mainland. And as you get under the mainland, or under the bridge to the mainland, the bridge continues forward as it enters this almost cave system that the bridge comes out of. And you watch as the boat comes to a slow. And you see him reach up and pull down a small rope ladder. Well, that way's up. You've got about 10 minutes before the next guard comes past. Up the ladder, straight down the hall. There's a crack on your left. Straight on through. And you're into the city.
And your people?
They'll be waiting on the other side. I've sent a letter.
All right.
You're going to want to look for, well, to be frank, a boy that looks a bit like me. You'll notice the orange hair and the freckles. It doesn't look like that all the time, but he will in this instance. It's how we signal. His name's Ethan. He's my brother. Not literally my brother, but, you know.
I understand.
Yeah. Be careful, alright?
Thank you.
Of course. Now go. You got 10 minutes.
No. I'll go up so that I can help Belle up at the top. Yeah. So, I would go up first and help guide her up.
Yeah. You help her up, and you watch as the boat slowly drifts backwards, flips around, and heads back out of this little cave system where the bridge extends, and disappears into the dark. Where are we going?
We're going to follow his instructions.
Okay.
Sounds like there are people here that are already trying to make a difference.
Okay.
Come along, quietly.
Okay.
I would guide her on the path that he directed.
Yeah. You walk down this long hallway through this bridge that you yourself have never seen in scale other than in the dark, when you yourself were taken out, smuggled across this bridge and out of the city. You've never seen it in the daytime. You've only seen it in the dark. And this is familiar to you despite being so young at the time. And you find your way along this bridge. You find the crack in the wall and you slip into it and pull Belle inside, and you hear footsteps walk through and walk past down the bridge as the guard passes. And the two of you kind of shuffle through this space between the cobblestones until you reach the other side. And you see a very heavy, several furs thick blanket be pulled aside, and you see a orange-haired kid with a small light on his head peer in. Simon sent you?
He did.
All right. Right this way. Welcome back.
And follow.
Yeah, you walk through and he closes this, and you can see that there is like a fake brick facade painted onto this several thick fur wall, so that way it sits flat and doesn't blow with the wind. And he walks you up into the city, up and down stairs, through alleyways, down into the basement of a like old-looking factory building. And you walk inside and you see that there are cots set up around the room, kind of separated off with curtains. Welcome to the Whisper Dagger. It's our little group. I'm Ethan. That's Tom. That's Boulder. And the rest will be back later.
The other people that he's pointing out, anybody evidently changeling, or are they all wearing a mask?
They are all changelings in here. And as he walks in, he drops his facade back to changeling. Or rather, he would have dropped it when you all left anyway, and instructed you two to do the same, because this is a changeling city.
And any people that we passed were not wearing a mask.
Correct. Yeah, all changeling.
Yeah,
You
so I
you
would've
pass the
dropped.
couple people that are like drunk, stumbling through the town that still have their mask on, but most people are just changeling here.
Sure. Yeah, I would have dropped mine.
Yeah. We've got a space set aside for you in the back, private. We're going to start... do you know how to fight, either of you?
Quite well, actually.
Sure. And the girl?
She's on her way.
Right. Well, you take a couple weeks. You teach her to fight. Make sure that she's ready. We'll take you out on a mission. We got one coming up in about a month.
How many?
10. We're going in, and we're going to get them out.
And where do they go from there?
Back across. We have families on the other side. Looking to adopt. It's better than here.
Safer.
Yes.
Very well. Is there any way to stop it?
Completely?
Yes.
We're trying. But that's a bit of a big ask. But
What if you had someone that could infiltrate?
that could be helpful. It's risky, though.
Wouldn't be the riskiest thing I've done.
All right, then.
Submissions first,
Yeah,
so you know you can trust us.
sure.
June. And this is Belle.
Very nice to meet you both. Got a lot of work to do, June.
Have a lot of work to do.
All right. Well, your quarters are back this way. We'll bring food and things to you. Step out if you need to, but I would try to keep it minimal. Really only at night. Train her up, teach her, and in a month, we'll move.
Very good.
Right. And he walks you back to a kind of curtained off area for the two of you. And Belle is very tired, and you kind of carry her over to the bed and set her down and tuck her in.
Yeah. I would, I guess I'd look about the room and just look for a place to store some personal belongings.
Sure. Yeah, there's like there's old barrels and like equipment boxes in here from when this was a factory that you could store stuff in.
Sure. What's the flooring and the condition of this room like?
It's stone. There are some carpeting thrown down
Sure.
in the center just to kind of muffle the sound.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd just find like one of the equipment boxes, something that fit like either behind or under a cot, and just store some of the additional flexible suits of armor that I jacked off of the Night Boys.
Yeah.
And I would I'd lay out the armor that was sized for Belle, and just take a moment to take a breather and prepare myself for what comes next.
Yeah. And you rest, again feeling safe among people that you can trust. And Belle, in the middle of the night, gets up and hops in bed beside you, and the two of you sleep. And over the next month, you train and teach her how to fight, teach her how to better hold a mask, all the things that she needs to know, while also trying to teach her language and other things that are important to keeping her not just a weapon like you were. You teach her in ways that you would have wanted to be taught, and not the way that you were broken.
Constructive. And this month passes,
and you and Belle walk out, and Ethan looks over at all of you. I think you're ready.
I think you're right.
Well, let's do this then. Good to have you along, June. And good to have you, Belle. Thank you. I want to save people. And the group of you walk out, kind of zipping back and forth between the shadows, hoods up, changeling form, running along the under portions of the bridge. Belle with her ring of water walking, running along the water, across, sprinting, almost skipping, before realizing the severity of the situation and beginning to start running again. And she looks up at you, and she smiles, and she says, "We're going to help a lot of people."
More than you could possibly know.
And you get across this bridge, and you find yourself standing in this awful place that you came from. And you make your way through it. You take that first step forward onto familiar ground. But it doesn't feel quite so scary anymore. And Belle reaches up and grabs your hand as the two of you run in between the alleys. And you get to this group of kids. And the group of you efficiently take out the guards. And each of you grabs one and throws them onto your backs. And you start running. One step after the other. Back through the soil. Back to the bridge. And you run along the pylons. And the children, their tears turn to laughter as Belle skips and dances across the water. And she looks up at you and she smiles. We're going to do really great things, aren't we?
We are.
one child at a time.
One at a time. And if there's anything that you would like to say or do as June.
No, I think that's a good place to stop.
Yeah. And the story of June continues with rescuing more kids and trying to infiltrate the kingdom that they came from. But that's a story for another day. And here, we fade to black with you and Belle and the crew of the Whispered Blade sprinting across the bridge, saving lives.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for playing.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been a blast.
Don't kill him too quickly.
Let me call them back. I'm assuming they're upstairs. See if that worked. I'll do the other summoning thing, but... Yep, they're coming. Thank you for playing in both stories.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It's been a blast.
It has.
Good.
I killed him.
Good.
I am dead, the DM. So wildly.
He's not the DM anymore. It's me now.
That's good.
Friends, thank you very, very much for playing this evening and for watching. Appreciate you all immensely. We will be live next on Monday for the City of Oshwamp. We will not be live next Friday. Not 100% sure when the next episode of Adoris will be. Sometime in early January. We're just waiting on some schedule things for Mike and Autumn. But thank you guys very much for watching. And we will see you on Monday for the greatest turtle that you've ever met. And a whole lot of hungry kids. And a terrifying story about a castle that melts in the winter. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Have a good time.
Friends, thank you. Happy holidays. And we'll see you Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Good night.
Good night, friends.
Bye.